everyone, welcome back to another video. Thank you for clicking. As you saw in the title of this video, I'm going to talk about my experience in the oil and gas industry as a female. And we'll start from the beginning, and then at the end I'm going to answer a couple questions that I keep getting every single day, and it's the same ones, so I'm just going to answer them on video. So let's go back 5 years ago. I was in university, I was finishing school, and I heard about this oil and gas service company that came to school to recruit. I fell in love with it right away. I thought it was cool. I knew that I didn't want to be in an office, and that I wanted to be outside. I wanted to get dirty, I wanted to work hard, and money was a driver for me. It still is till this day. And yeah, so I decided to take a leap. I had an internship with them. I did fracking in Grand Prairie in Alberta in Canada. I was there for the summer. I really enjoyed it. I got to meet a lot of really nice people, and I kind of got the taste of what the oil patch was. I thought people were really nice. I did notice that it's definitely a different crowd of people from what I was used to, because I was back from out east in Canada, where people don't know what a rig is, only around people who work on rigs or who work in fracking, or like truck drivers and all that stuff. So it's definitely a different world, but I like it. I enjoy it. I'm happy to be in the oil patch. And yeah, after that I finished school. I graduated with chemical engineering. A lot of people ask me, you could be a petroleum engineer, you could be a civil, electrical, mechanical. It doesn't really matter. Obviously, if you're a petroleum engineer, that's going to help you understand a little bit more at the beginning of your career. But most oil and gas service companies will hire anyone with an engineering degree. After I got hired, I got sent to Abu Dhabi in the Middle East for 3.5 months, I believe. This was in 2013. And it sucked because I was away from home for 3.5 months. I had never left my house for that long. My friends, my boyfriend at the time, who is now my husband, and I thought it was really hard to just be in some other country by yourself in like a classroom of 20 other students. And this was kind of like your probation time. So this is what this company that I work for does. You get sent there for 3 months. You learn about the service company, you learn about the tools, about what you're going to be doing day by day, because what I do now for work has nothing to do with what I learned in university. But what I do use from university is my troubleshooting skills, how to think like an engineer, how to solve problems, because there are a lot of problems out in the field. Almost every single job that I go to, there's something that I have to figure out. There's something that is going wrong, and there's something that you need to fix. And what's stressful is that the operations that you are managing are, you know, $100,000 worth, and the rig might be a couple $100,000 per hour or millions per hour. It really depends where you're working, if you're onshore or if you're on land, and what kind of rig it is. But so yeah, you're always constantly pressured that you need to act quick, because money is time. So yes, I started working after the 3 months of probation. I passed all the exams and all that stuff. Then they sent me to Alberta in Nisku, which is Edmonton, and this is where I worked for the last about 3.5 years. And what it is that I do is I do wireline, which is, it's a little hard to explain, but I'll try and put a picture here. And what it is once the well is drilled, whether it's vertical or horizontal, they need to know what the reservoir looks like, or, you know, where their zones of interest are. And, you know, so I didn't know geology before I came here, so you will learn all of these things if you decide to start here. And what it is we have different tools, so resistivity, densities, neutrons, sonics, imagers, different tools that have been designed by my company. And what we do is we put them through the well. So I'll see if I could do a picture here, or like some sort of animation. And we log the well. So we go all the way to the bottom of the well. It's called TD, total depth. And then you slowly start logging upwards. At that point, when we're done logging, what I do as a field engineer is I'm on the computer and I'm constantly making sure the tools are working, that they're reading correctly, that the calibrations are good, and that the customer is happy. I deliver all the data to the client. I'm basically the point of contact. I'm the one that's in the field, so I directly deal with the client who's there. And we give them the data, and that is where they can decide whether they want to land in a specific spot, where they're going to, you know, perforate, where they're going to get the oil out. So that's what logging is. I've been doing that for almost 5 years, and I really enjoy it. I love it. The money is great. Now, the lifestyle is kind of what I really wanted to talk about, because this is, I guess, the most troublesome part of the job. So my rotation is I work 2 weeks on, 1 week off, but that's really dependent on what country you work for. So in Canada and the US, this is what the schedule is. If you work anywhere else in the world, like South America, Africa, Asia, I know they don't really have a schedule necessarily. I know a lot of colleagues work a whole month, a whole 2 months, get 2-3 days off, and they just work them like crazy. So the reasons why I love this job so much, it's because of the time off. So yes, for 2 weeks I'm suffering, or for 2 weeks, you know, it's a lot of hard work. But you know that at the end of the 2 weeks, you have a whole week off to yourself where you can just take off, travel, do nothing if you want. So that's kind of the rewarding part about it. For me, since now I'm living in Canada but working in Texas, it's a little bit harder because I do an entire month. So I work 30 days straight. There are no days off. And then I come home here to Canada for 2 weeks. What we do for work is we're on call 24/7. So I'm not talking about fracking, drilling, cementing, all those other segments that are part of our company. I'm talking mainly about logging, whether it's cased hole or open hole. And this is what our schedule or lifestyle is like. So for the 2 weeks, you're on call for 24/7. So we basically work at 3 a.m. to 2 p.m., 10 p.m. Like there is no time. We don't clock in and clock out. We're basically on the clock the entire time. So let's say I'm at the shop. We have a shop. I check all the tools and make sure everything's working. I prepare for the job that the client's going to call in because we know a little bit in advance. And then when the client has finished drilling the well, they'll call me and say, hey, can you be here at 2 in the morning? Okay, cool. So I've been up, you know, all day getting things ready and stuff, and then you show up there at 2 in the morning. Now, the job is very different from well to well. So one job I can do, let's say on Monday, it'll be a 5-6 hour job. Everything goes well, I go back home. Or it could be a job that was supposed to be 4 or 5 hours, and then I go and it ends up being 3 days, 7 days. Like, that's the thing, is you never know how long you're leaving for. You don't know. There is no, this is kind of the other thing that I like about this job, is that you don't know what's gonna happen. You wake up that morning and you have no idea what's ahead. It could be a really good job, it could be a really bad job. Your tools can work perfectly and everything goes really good, and then you go home, or everything goes to shit and like nothing's working, you're troubleshooting everything, the tool breaks, you gotta come out, you gotta get a new tool, you gotta go back out. Like, that's the other thing, is you can't leave the well site, or you can't leave the rig until you're done logging. So that's the other thing. I'll probably do a video on like what I bring to work, because that's the other thing, is sometimes you don't have a shower. You don't have a hot meal all the time. Like, you can't cook every day when you're out in the rig. There's not a kitchen for you. So you have to bring a lot of like snacks, or like if you bring a cooler, you can bring some food, but it might not last the entire time that you're there, because you thought you were gonna be there for a day and you end up being there for 5 days. So you always have to have cans, or just like, it's literally like you're going camping. It's survival mode basically. And so that kind of sucks. You don't shower every day. I think last week I showered twice the entire week. So yeah, it sucks. And I ran out of food once, but someone else had food. So yeah, there's a lot of shitty parts of the job, but there's also really good parts and rewarding parts. So you just kind of have to look at the pros and cons. But like any other job, like nothing's gonna be perfect, and there are really bad things that I don't like about this job, but there are really good things that I like about this job, and I find the good kind of overcome the bad. I've been doing this for 5 years. The money's great. The sacrifice part that I find that a lot of us do working in the oil patch is that we are away from our families. We miss birthdays, we miss Christmas, we miss New Year's, we miss Thanksgiving. Like any important date that you might have, you might miss it. You might be lucky and have Christmas off that year, but honestly, the way it's been in the past 5 years, I've basically missed a lot of very important days that I won't ever get back. But I just tell myself that, you know, Christmas, I can do Christmas any day. Luckily, I don't have any kids, so I don't have that where I'm leaving my kids, and that would be horrible. But I know a lot of dads that do that, and it's heartbreaking. A lot of them tell me that when they leave, their kids start crying, or their son's crying because they weren't there for their birthday, and like, you know, it's definitely hard. And what really actually bothers me is when people say, oh yeah, well, you guys make so much money, you guys are all working the oil patch, like, who cares? Like, these guys are out here killing themselves as well. They're working really hard for their families back at home, and that shouldn't just be overseen because they make a lot of money. They're here because they want to, and they're sacrificing their time to be out on a rig, or be out fracking, or be out, you know, trucking up north, to bring money to their family, to give them a better future. So I really think everyone who works here is awesome, and everyone's doing it for a purpose and for a goal. A lot of people quit because they don't like the lifestyle, they miss their families, they think it's too hard of work, they don't want to work at night, they don't want to work, you know, 5, 6, 7 days in a row. They rather an office position, they don't want to be dirty. You know, there's a lot of reasons why people quit this job. And I remember when I first started, people thought that I was gonna quit like the first week. They were like, this girl's not gonna make it, this girl's not gonna last. But the entire time I was like, I'm so gonna last. Like, I'm gonna prove to all of these people that I'm going to do a really good job, and that I'm gonna stay here for a long time. Thank you for watching. There's going to be part 2 and 3 of this video, where I think the second video I'm just gonna answer questions, and the third video I'm going to answer kind of the interview process, how to apply, and what they kind of question you on, and what they want to see from you in an interview, and yeah, how to get recruited and stuff like that. Yeah, hope you enjoyed the video.